Okay, Mike. Mr. Chairman, we can do the pledge.
Stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, visible, with liberty and justice for all.
This public hearing is set for today, Wednesday, 5/12/2021 at 4 o'clock. The public hearing is set to establish the sewer user rate for the fiscal year 2021 through 2022. All affected homeowners shall be heard. The sewer rate per EDU will remain as last year as $203 per EDU. Is there anyone who would like to be heard? Just to note that there's nobody in the audience yet. Manny, we're having a public hearing from 4 to 4:30, but you can set up. Okay. We don't start till 4:30, the regular meeting. This is a public hearing for sewer user rate. Doesn't affect you.
And, Steve, you can run the
Oh. Yes, you did. Are you here for the public hearing?
I am. I'm Terry, the recording clerk. You can call and introduce myself to you. I'm the recording clerk, Terry.
Okay. So this is a public hearing to establish the sewer user rate for the fiscal year 2021, 2022. All affected homeowners shall be heard. And the current sewer rate, Terry, is $203 per EDU, equivalent dwelling unit. We're going to hold the same as we did last fiscal year. Are there any homeowners who would like to be heard? Homeowners or individuals?
has it.
I'm gonna add the comment that this is the budget, just so we usually don't do that. It's just, things are going just to cover ourselves.
Sure. That's why she put it in.
Yeah, good idea. I'd like to add that the proposed budget for the WPCA for the fiscal year 2021-2022 is set at $2,942,310 per our previous meetings to establish our budget. Any affected homeowners or individuals can be heard. We are setting the rate, user rate at $203 per EDU or equivalent dwelling unit. Are there any individuals that would like to be heard? Harry, if you're recording, just note that there's no public in the room, please. Thank you.
Anyone else want a cup of coffee? Pizza, any cream or milk?
Yes.
What do you,
Refrigerator in the kitchen, Charlie. You know where the cafeteria is, right? The little cafeteria, right? No?
show me,
I'll get it.
No, but show me for future reference.
Yeah, thanks.
No, I got that myself, I see it.
Are you at our 4:30 meeting also, Terry?
Yes,
It's Terry or Carrie?
Terry with the T.
Terry? It's open from 4 to 4:30, and then we go to the regular meeting.
Anything we say is on record,
Hmm?
anything we say is on record right now?
If you're talking about the sewer rate, yes. You live in Shelton?
But, no, but I'm not gonna
And then if you're gonna say something, sir, please state your name and address for the stenographer,
I wanna
for
talk
Terry.
about something else. So, about your tenant work over there.
Can't talk about that right
Yeah,
now.
that's big.
I don't know.
I would, but I can't.
I know.
Here it comes out.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Huh?
Good job, Pete. Coffee's good.
I did good, huh?
You done good. No Panther piss. Auntie Carmela would be proud.
Yeah, I was shocked to see you there that
Yeah,
day. You probably likewise.
yeah, I was like, I know him. And then I was like, then it dawned on me. I was like, oh, he doesn't play last year.
Give me a big project.
Yeah, the steel's up.
Hmm?
Right? The steel is already up. And I think, it could still be worked out, with, for slabs versus tiles like they wanted to do, and I think it'll end up being cheaper. We'll see what happens. But I got another one just down the street.
Who's that for?
In front of the FedEx building,
Hmm?
in front of the FedEx building.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're doing that
A
now.
brewery?
No. Another warehouse, big warehouse here.
Manny, I never would have thought non-alcoholic beer would have taken off the way it took off.
Yep.
Never in a and I did that one 3 years ago, and when, I never thought in a million years.
So I brought it up to one of my friends, and he's like, makes perfect sense. I go, why? And he goes, who just want to drink beer at work? And they can't. You know, with that stuff.
You gonna make another announcement?
Yeah.
You gonna make another announcement?
You're prompt.
Yeah.
Or the prompt.
You're the prompt, Pete. Please be advised, this public hearing for the Wpca is to set the sewer user rate per EDU for the 2021-2022 budget, to establish a sewer rate of $203 per EDU or equivalent dwelling unit. Our budget is set forth at $2,942,310. Is there any homeowner or an individual that would like to be heard?
let her cremate?
Yeah. She's not.
Hmm?
She's right behind him, I think.
Yeah, she's,
They waited a bit, 'cause she wasn't in good shape.
she living by herself, or she in the home?
I think she's in the home too, from what I understand. They told me there was, you know, he just felt bad for the whole situation. It was just sad, he said. Oh,
Hey, he had a good life,
but he was one of those people who said, I'm prearranging my funeral. No, he told Eddie and I what he wanted. That's not prearranging your funeral, so they came in and they thought that was a contract. And I said to him, yeah, well, he told me I want
Thanks, Lori.
You know, but that's not prearranging, really. So, yes, did we know what he wanted? Oh, I knew too. Didn't do nothing about it.
The motion,
Oh.
because I want to get those in right away.
I couldn't get over about Tony. When I saw Tony Bolero died, I couldn't get over it.
I didn't hear you.
I couldn't get over that Tony Bolero died.
I couldn't either. I thought he was, I didn't think he was sickly, but he's been very sick.
The COPD, I guess.
Yeah, he's been very sick.
I saw him. We were at someone else's wake, and he come in, and he looked pretty, you know, for him, decent. And with the mask up,
Yeah, he looked good last time I saw him.
yeah.
Working down in Wilton, Easton.
I have a 4:00 meeting tomorrow, so I'll zoom down after that. Go through the line.
Tomorrow's the week.
4:00.
Oh, boy, I'm glad you told me. I had Joe in school. I don't remember Tony in school, but I remember Joe.
They were good friends of my father's, good to us.
Father was, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He
He was
goes
the best. He was the best.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Michael,
Mm-hmm.
next announcement you make, like now?
I'm gonna do it, yep, as
Yeah,
soon as
but
I'm done writing.
also announce that for the people at home, if there's anybody on Zoom who wants to speak from the public. Yes.
Debbie's home.
No, we need Debbie's phone.
Did you put it on?
He just says, in case somebody's calling in.
This is the last call for the public hearing set for the WPCA budget to establish a sewer user rate for 2021, 2022. And the budget is set at $2,942,310, which makes the sewer user rate at $203 per EDU or equivalent dwelling unit. It will remain the same as last year. Are there any affected homeowners or individuals who would like to be heard? Is there anybody on Zoom? So please state your name and address. Write that down, Terry. Said again that there's nobody here. Thank you. What's that?
That's the attended one.
Maybe two?
We know what it
Well,
is in
no.
one person.
John, they all used to come and we did budget of Board of Ed. Then we had to move the meeting. Then we
No,
moved the meeting.
remember,
Yeah,
we are one?
Yeah,
What was it,
Mhm.
Irv? Was it Irv?
Mhm.
Irv and his wife. Did you ever hear We Are One?
Yeah, I know.
They would come, but nobody in all my years has ever contested it, ever. We usually have them 15, I said, Ernie, make it 4:15. Oh, no, I wanna make sure, all right, Ernie, we've done it for 15 minutes prior, every year. But, yeah, it's okay, it's,
Have to spend quality time with each other.
oh, yeah.
Next year.
Next year it'll be 15.
Lori will take care of it next year.
By the way, Michael, Naugatuck does it for 5 minutes, and they stop, and then they wait like 2 or 3 minutes, and they start again for 5 more minutes, and they wait 2 or 3 minutes, stop it, and 2 or 3 minutes, start again.
That works.
Half an hour is no big deal, it's not, doesn't bother me. Just so you guys know, we don't vote here, we vote at the regular meeting, it's just a public hearing.
Bill, I don't know if I told you, but the packet, and Garrett, the packet you got is the supplemental packet stuff that you got in the mail. One is labeled 4A. Right. Okay, there's. I put it all together. Guess so.
Jim Swift.
Joined the meeting.
Is there anyone else that would like to be heard on the WPCA budget for 2021, 2022? Sewer user rate will be established at $203 per EDU, equivalent dwelling unit, and the budget is $2,942,310. Since there's nobody in the audience or on Zoom, going once, going twice, going 3 times. This public hearing is now closed. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, a nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice. Mr. Chairman, can we have a moment of silence for Tony Bolero,
former building inspector for the city of Shelton.
Thank you. Item number 2, public participation. Hearing none, we'll move on. Is there anybody from the public on Zoom? If so, please state your name and address. Thank you. Item number 3, there's 3 of them, so I'm going to say each one of them individually. I need approval for the meeting minutes, for the minutes dated March 5th, 2021. Anybody want to make a motion? We're going to do them individually.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from John.
Second.
Second. Bill?
I have to abstain on that one. I wasn't a commissioner yet.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approval of the meeting minutes dated April 7th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approval of the meeting minutes dated April 21st, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Vote so ordered on all 3. 4A, Superintendent's Report.
Ed's not here today, so I'll be reading. Our average daily flow is 2.8 million gallons a day, peak flow of 3.3. All of our numbers were in compliance. 54 pounds per day average for nitrogen. Looks like the total check will be getting back to that, a little over $10,000 this year. See that in August or September. 29 months of incident-free accidents. School safety was our training 3 months. Chemicals are about the same, although we started in May, we started chlorinating, so that'll change next month. 104 months of noise-free complaints. 34 months, no safety odor complaints. Grease for the month was, the upper rate was 70, lower rate was 80. River Road was 100, Lattice Place 110, Metal Arc was 90. Our main stayed the same. We reinstalled our main pump, got that back online. Our bar stream auger did go down. We had to have that rebuilt. Replaced the motor and a gearbox and a 24-hour sampler. All the SCRs are currently in line. Future work, we're in progress with the generator, with the radiator. We got the approval, things are getting ordered. Should be happening within a month. Overtime is the same as
Pete, you want to talk about Bob?
Nothing to add. We're doing mainly new construction right now, additions, or replacements, like, Ruby Tuesday's being replaced by the Marketplace. We're working with them to upgrade their present grease trap. And, as you see from the reports, grease has gone down from last year, which is probably a good indicator, like I said a couple of times at the meeting, repeating the words of Tom Sims, that a lot of it comes from the households. Last year, everybody was home this time of the year. We saw an increase in grease over that period of time.
That's a lot.
Any questions?
Any questions for Garrett? Hearing none, we'll move on. Budget worksheet. So this says summary. Lori, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go through this, Garrett. But I'm gonna guess that, is this up to date?
It's through April today,
April?
the April close. Yeah.
So there would be May and June, correct?
Right.
So you have two months.
This represents, there's some lag in a couple of these now.
Yep. Any comments on the budget worksheet? Bill, you gonna take a look at that, you and I, and just kind of go over it for next month? I want to just understand, make sure, see where we're, just quickly, you know, I looked at it the other day, you know, I didn't look at it close, but. Any comments in the budget worksheet? 5A, old business. Budget approval for 2021, 2022. The budget is set at $2,942,310. User rate per equivalent dwelling unit will be $203. Same as last fiscal year. Is there any discussion on the budget? I thank everybody for coming to the special meetings for the budget. It was helpful. It's always helpful to have a lot of ears and eyes and understand what makes up the budget and what we can do to hopefully make it better some days. Is there any discussion on the budget? If not, does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead and make the motion, Bill.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget,
For?
$2,942,310 for 2021, 2022.
And the rate?
$203 for EDUs.
Equivalent dwelling unit, Bill?
Pardon?
Equivalent dwelling unit?
Equivalent dwelling unit, yes, Chairman.
There's a motion on the floor to set the rate at $2,942,310. The user rate for the fiscal year will be $203 per EDU, equivalent dwelling unit. Motion by Bill. Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
Second by John Pushkar. You're seconding the budget at $2,942,310, John? Okay, so when we make these kind of motions, make the motion that you're seconding what you're seconding. Just for clarity down the road, you know what I'm saying? So would you say that for me?
$5A.
And the rate?
$203
Per?
EDU.
This is one of the only ones we have to be very careful at. Some of these other ones are kind of, you know, but when you're setting rates, try to make sure everybody understands rates, and everybody, I know we agree, but in theory, the public needs to. They had their say 30 minutes ago, so we're setting the rate. Motion by Bill, seconded by John, to set the budget at $2,942,310, or $203 per EDU user rate. All in favor? Any further discussion?
Mike, the budget on the 203 per, that's the next 2 years?
No, 1 year,
1
year
year
at a time. Yeah, 2021, 2022, 1 year. We'll do the same thing again next year.
This time.
Yeah, well, we always start it early, a couple of months early.
Fiscal year goes from July 1st to June 30th. That's what happens, 2 years.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. On-call professional services. So Ernie asked me to hold off, I'm gonna give you the sheet, the tally sheet, but Ernie asked me to hold off for discussion for next month since he's out But this is a tally of everybody's, of all the sheets. One, two, you don't need one, you weren't here. So, I think it's, just looking at everybody's sheet, I think it was pretty clear. Environmental Partners was 117 points below Tigan Bond and Weston and Sampson. It was pretty clear that everybody had the same comments. There were some comments on the sheets. So the only one that wasn't, actually, John, you weren't here. So that represents everybody. That represents Pete and Ed, Pete and Ernie's. So for the most part, I think Tigan Bond and Weston and Sampson did a pretty decent job. I think the thing that I didn't really know, and Ernie and I spoke about it later on, is that I didn't realize they had a service, which we always have these little things pop up. So I think that was a pretty good, a nice service to have. You know, we have on-call services with other Nickerson and other people. So this makes it a little bit easier. And I think you guys all heard how it works. If there's no other discussion, Ernie wants to have a further discussion next week. Are you guys all in favor of that, tabling this till next month? Or you want to have a further discussion? It's up to you guys.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to table the discussion and/or the selection of a professional on-call wastewater management firm until the administrator can be here. And I think we should also have a member of the staff at the plant, based on the discussion we had last week, because I don't think anybody here, well, I shouldn't say that, most of us here don't understand what Garrett and Ed and the other guys do, so I think that would be important.
I would second that motion.
Motion to table the selection of the on-call engineer until next month when Ernie's back. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Thank you.
Application Petromont Police.
Good evening. For the record, I'm Attorney Stephen Bellis, and I represent the applicant. As you may recall, we were here maybe a month or so ago for the approval of a 47-unit apartment complex on Petromont Road. Since that meeting, two things have happened. One, we, after consulting with the town engineer, or WPCA engineer, I should say, we decided to not patch into the existing sewer line, which is a forced main, but rather to lay a separate forced main line in the same trench. Going from Petromont to Chorus. We've also, so there were some technical questions that the WPCA engineer had, and Manny Silva is here with me today if the board has any questions, but those have all been answered. And so we are going in next, Wednesday, for what we call detailed development approval, which means we need the WPCA approval on the sewer before that meeting.
So, Mr. Pereira, I understand that you reviewed this with Ernie.
Yes.
Any comments?
The comments that I came up with are minor, but I can go through them if you like.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, Rose Tizo really addressed all the major comments that I had. They were quick and easy to work with. So the comments that remain are really, the first couple are just a couple of clarifications. Number one is change the reference to the pump manufacturer model in note number 1 on sheet PP-1.2. Simple enough. There's two different pumps referenced. So it's just a clarification there. Number 2 is to clarify if we're going with an 1.25 inch force main. again, simple clarification. Number 3 is really just to cover this in case, you know, the pumps are changed during construction or prior to construction. There's a pump that's specified right now, so if that changes, I just think it's a good idea to have a new pump and system curve submitted, so you guys have something on record in case there's ever an issue. Again, easy enough. And then the 4th one is, you know, this force main is almost flowing by gravity, so I don't see any issues. There is like a slight belly in it. I personally don't think we need an air release, but I just think, again, to cover you, I think it's a good idea just to have the pump manufacturer, you know, just confirm that they don't in fact need an air release for their pump.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Because I'm seeing a little bit of a discrepancy here. Mr. Silva, maybe you can help me out too, is on your sheet here, on your sewer connection, your application to connect, you have daily flow is 6,580 on this, Joe?
Yeah.
And Manny, on this you have 7,050 gallons per day. The rooms have stayed the same, 47. Which one is it?
Manny Silva from Rose Season Company, 35 Brentwood Avenue, Fairfield, Connecticut, applicant's engineer. So, in the original application, because we were trying to get credit for those affordable housing units and not being charged for them, that's how that application was filled out, but then it's been revised since to actually have the 47 units, and the correct flow is the 7,050 gallons per day.
Because ours calls for 140 gallons per day.
Correct.
And you have 150 on your sheet.
150, why I use 150 is because that's what the State Department of Health uses as a conservative number per bedroom unit.
Okay.
And in the application, the calculation is based off of your experience in town, which is a lower number.
Okay.
So we've designed everything to the health department, the state health department's,
Right, okay, so I can accept that. I don't think there's a reason to change the number unless anybody here on the board does. I'm sorry, you want to keep, sorry, is that it?
So, I mean, just wanted to kind of like, elaborate on what, Mr. Barrera had, stated. So as you can see, the force main comes downhill, and it continues downhill until you hit this valley in the road, and then has to come back up to the existing, manhole in the corner. And essentially, that's why we need to have a pump. The only other way to do it would be to do a reverse siphon, which I don't believe for a flow this small, we could use, we can even do a reverse siphon. So what the changes are is basically we're gonna now parallel our own force main to the existing one that was put in, for Santos Plaza on the corner there. And we are showing, air blow off here at the turn. Again, since there's no high point in the force main, there's really no need for an air blow off. But I add one there along with a, air blow-off in there along with the shut-off valve in a manhole, so that if there is any need to maintain it, or even if someone wants to connect into it later on, they have that shut-off there in the public right-of-way, so that, it wouldn't be dangerous to work on it, after the fact. And basically, I just put the blow-off there as a redundancy kind of thing. It's really, I don't believe one is required, but we can get, I could have the pump manufacturer look at the design and confirm that.
You okay, Joe?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So I know you were kind of like put into this. Typically, we have our engineer write a recommendation, but we're going to take your recommendation here from the floor that you worked with Ernie and you worked with Rose Tizzo to resolve this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yes, sir?
No, that's it.
Excuse me?
That's all we have.
Okay. So, based on the recommendation from Joe Pereira Engineering Firm. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Chairman, can I just add one more thing?
Yes, sir.
I noticed in the minutes, and Ernie brought it up, that although there are 47 units, I just want to clarify that there was a motion made to reduce the number of units for the actual total benefit charge by 6.
That's correct, yeah.
We're down to 41, so I think you should just clarify that the actual total benefit charge is actually less. It should be $70,980.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna recommend, and again, the board's gotta, why don't you resolve that with Ernie? And Ernie will resolve the number with him, and then get this corrected, and then bring it back next month for Ernie, and then we can just, we can approve it based on that, Joe. How many units did you say?
It's in my report.
It's in his report.
If you have it, I summarized.
682, gentlemen, if you go to 682.
682? It's not in the Rose Tizzo report?
Sewer connection application.
All right, hold on a second, sewer application connection.
So if you look at my report.
Supplement today.
The supplement.
682. Joe's, Mr. Pereira's complete.
682.
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah, I'm trying to rifle through them all.
Is that part of,
It's got my letterhead on the front.
I'm sure I got it here, it's just a matter, there's a lot of paperwork, John.
Oh, it says on the cover of what,
What's that?
I was thinking the cover.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, you'll notice that the format's very similar to what you used to. So it's all along the same line.
In your supplement, gentlemen, supplement
Okay.
that we gave you.
Not 682. Different location.
What's that?
682 is a different location.
Show them that there.
Well,
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, there it is, 682.
682 here, Bill, what's that, does that say 682 on the top?
Oh.
So this is, know this,
Four, five, wait a minute. Hold on.
hold on a minute, I know.
I have 6A, here we go. I see it now.
6A.
Yeah,
I figured it out, took me a minute.
Here it is, okay, I got it.
Got
I
it?
see it.
So everybody's on the same page?
Yep.
Hey, but wait a minute, I'm getting a little confused.
682.
We're talking about Petriment Lane, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes.
682 is Fairview.
Sorry, I gave the wrong number.
Don't confuse us.
Hold on a second.
Confusing numbers.
Exactly.
5C, I'm sorry, 5C.
Ah,
Thank you, Peter.
I couldn't-
That's right, 5C.
Oh, you're on the other,
5C. That's what you're looking
Yeah, well,
I got it. I got 5C.
yeah,
5C, sorry,
Right, right.
saw Pereira twice.
5C, not 5.
okay, so,
I know.
but 5C's not in the supplement, but I got a five, let's make this, well, here's my supplement package here. It's okay, let's make this easy. Make the change, if everybody agrees, we're gonna make the change to reducing the units and reducing the cost. Because we'll base it on, how many units again, did you say? Less 6, correct?
So you got
I don't have the
47
5,
units.
it's okay, I don't have the 5, that one.
So
It's all right, it's no big deal.
So here's the breakdown, so that was, when you go through the normal.
47 less.
units, that's the total fee based on the normal
Correct,
stuff.
that's right.
And what I did is I summarized it here, I have a copy of the minutes.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah, that's good.
It says the motion carried for reduction of units.
Correct.
And then here's the
You
breakdown.
didn't want us to reject you, did you?
Can we keep that, Joe?
Yeah, sure. And there's your 41 units, and then there's the breakdown.
41 units. We're gonna base it on 41 units, so when we make a vote, let's base it on 41 units, and then the final number will be 70,980. All right, so we're at 41 units now, based on what we approved last month, is reducing it by six units for the, affordable housing, correct? So does anybody wanna make a motion on 41 units for $70,980 for Good Guys Development by Rose Tizzo?
Make the motion.
Petromont Lane, sorry.
I'll second it.
Motion by Joe. For now on, when we do financials, make the motion of what we're approving. When we do any kind of financial, we need to start stating.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, please make the motion.
Motion for Good Guys Development for 41 units on Petromont for $70,980.
And 80.
$80.
Okay, motion by Joe, seconded by Bill. Can you make the motion, second, Bill?
Second motion, yes.
Okay, second the motion again. We're doing financials now. We're trying to get more, making sure, I know it's,
Second motion again for connection service for $70,980 for 41 units.
okay. Motion by Joe, seconded by Bill. Is there any further discussion on the motion as it relates to Good Guys Development Engineer Rose Tizzo for 41 units for $70,980? And you'll, Joe, you'll redo the paperwork and just bring it to, you just drop it off to,
Yeah, I just wanna clarify one thing, so you're approving 47 units.
no, we're improving 41 units.
No,
Well, you're
47.
approving the connection.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's,
That's right,
You're basing the benefit connection charge on 41.
That's correct.
I'll amend the motion to reflect that.
okay,
I'll amend the motion to be, we're approving 47 units, 6 of which are for
affordable,
affordable housing
okay.
for the cost of $70,980.
Okay, there you go, sorry. That's
Sorry about
a little
that.
more clear. And then, motion is seconded by Bill.
I'll second the motion for 47 units, yet the connection cost is based upon 41 units at $70,980.
Okay, here we go. All right, that better?
Yes, better, yes, thank you.
Motion on the floor. Any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Sorry, we just need to start putting financials in our motions. They want us to, you know. Okay, no problem. I don't have a problem with it.
Thank you all.
Thanks. And Joe, you have your stuff. I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Pat.
Good move, using a local, engineer to review the project. I appreciate that.
Let's see, 6A, Fairview Avenue. All right, now, there's so much paperwork here.
Don't get them confused again, Pete.
Yeah, I know, me too.
6A1.
6A1. There's two of them.
Acadia Development, Design Build. There's Lot 49, Lot 50, 51, Fairview Avenue. Who's here, is there anybody here reviewing this?
Can you hear me? This is Jim Swift for the applicant.
All right, Jim, I forgot that you were on. Thank you.
Yep, I'm here. Maybe, Mr. Chairman, let me just go over the overview, and then perhaps these 3 applications will make better sense.
Okay.
My client has purchased land that is basically 2 existing building lots up Fairview Avenue. And Fairview Avenue is one of those older streets. It's got a couple of houses up there. One of them has a private lateral coming down Fairview Avenue. In discussions with Ernie, the simplest way, even though it's only 2 existing lots, we think the simplest way to take care of this is to propose a city-accepted sewer line that runs from the existing line in the state highway up to our lots. It's I don't know, I'd have to zoom in, but about 150 feet of line. We're proposing for the city to take it over as part of the city municipal system. So that's one application. And then, Ernie would like to see applications for individual houses, even though it's not, it's anything that the city's going to take over. So that's why you have 3 applications before you. One is for an actual extension of the city sewer main, and then the 2 are just more or less their lateral connections for our 2 houses. And then the third part of this that's a little bit unusual is that there's an existing private lateral that comes down the middle of Fairview Avenue We're not 100% sure where it is, but certainly we're gonna disturb it when we put in the sewer main. So we're adding a condition on our plan that as we find that line, we connect it up. And I think Ernie's gone over this with your reviewers. I don't know if he left any sort of report or anything there for you. But that's the bottom line. That's why there's 3 applications that are all sort of tied together.
So 6A1, 6A2, and 6A3.
No, it's 682.
Yeah, 683 is just an app.
681 was,
No, 6A,
Got 5 lots, 3 and 2.
yeah, that's right, yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Sorry.
lot
Yeah,
49.
they're not really 5 lots. What they are is they're combined parcels that my client got together with Corporation Counsel and decided that if you were to put in one case these 2 lots and in another case these 3 lots together, you have a building lot. So there's 5 numbers in there, but it's basically 2 building lots. That's just
So-
how they wanted me to write up the title block. So.
Yeah, 2 buildings.
Right. So I remember talking to Ernie about this, Jim. And the only thing I'm trying to understand is how did you guys come up with the number of dwelling units on your application to connect? I don't recall what he said. I see you have on 6A1, you're calling it 1 unit at 210 gallons per day. And then on 6A2, you have 1 unit at 210 gallons a day. So you're saying each lot? Is that, I don't remember the conversation with Ernie.
They're single family lots. They're
Right.
single raised ranches. And, you know, don't let, in the title block that says, you know, one of the title blocks says lots 49, 50, 51.
Yeah.
That's just to distinguish it from, we don't have addresses or anything yet. That's 1 lot supporting 1 house. So don't let the title block fool you. It's 1
Okay,
lot,
so-
1 house.
Okay, so let me ask the question. If there's 5 different lots eventually, correct?
They're
that
being
right?
combined. They're being combined. So lots 49, 50, 51 are by deed being combined into 1 single lot for 1 single house.
Mr. Pereira?
Yeah, so I agree with Jim. So maybe lot isn't the right word to use, because this commission is thinking of lots, right? But at the end of
Correct.
the day, you're right, you're talking about 2 separate building lots. What Jim is talking about, and I agree with him, is you have, let's say, 5 pieces of land parcels, and they're all small. So for the first building lot, which is referred to as application 21-104, and we're calling it lot 49, 50, and 51, that's, just think of it as 3 small pieces of land parcels.
Can't that be called out so that somebody reading this, if you guys know what you're doing.
Right.
I come in and I say, they got 3 lots and they want to put 1, I'm 100% for it, I'm not against it. But I think this should be for people like myself that we don't know what you guys know. It should just, a note there for us, that's all. Maybe not.
I think it probably comes from the map block and lot number that the tax assessor gives to
That's
a
okay.
property. So, you know, for example, you've got a map block and a lot number for 3 separate pieces of land, but you have to combine them to make 1 buildable lot that complies with design regs. So, you know, that's really where the word lot comes from. It's really from the map block and lot number that the tax assessor signed. So it's clear if you look at this map, at the survey and the site plan, and then you compare it to the city's map, you can line them up and say, that's the history, that's really all comes from. But at the end of the day, this application is only for 1 building lot.
but here's the problem that I have, and I think Don is catching on it. If you have 5 houses, right, you can have one lot, and the city might allow 5 residential dwellings on there. You're not gonna do 210 gallons per day, you're gonna do 210 times 5. And you're not showing that on these applications. That's where I was starting to go with it. It doesn't make sense, because I'm looking at the word lot also, and I blow that aside, and I say, how many dwellings are there?
Only one.
One dwelling?
No, 2. There's actually
But
2 dwellings.
there should be plans attached to those applications.
Right. There are
There's
drawings,
2 applications, 1 per each.
right.
We have drawings too.
There's,
So there's 2 separate applications.
Why did you say 5?
no, because they're going by lot description, they're going, I know what Joe's trying to say.
It's just,
Chairman, do you mind if I sit up here, maybe?
Nope, absolutely.
it's just confusing for people like you guys, you got Bill and probably Mike, because I don't deal, so if somebody gave me this, and Ernie didn't call me and said, they're coming in with 5 lots for I don't think so. You know, we're not gonna allow it. That's what I just want clarification, and that's, as long as it's clear, everybody else.
I understand. So here's part of the problem, and Jim hit on it. There's no address for this lot. If there was an address, we'd just be talking about 100 Fairview Avenue and 102 Fairview Avenue. An address hasn't been assigned yet, so I think really right now the only way to refer to these parcels of land, which is one building lot, is to call out the numbers that are on record.
Yeah.
Legally, that's the right way to do, because
Yeah.
if you just call the lot 49 and then you try and track the history years from, you'd say, well, what happened to 1551? Well, those became part of one building lot that'll have an address shortly. So I understand the confusion, but realistically, that is the right way to refer to it, because it matches the tax assessor's maps, which these parcels are all shown on,
That's the right way,
you know?
Because basically, the 3 lots, 49, 50, 51, are probably not legal building lots.
Yeah.
Maybe they were 100 years ago when they subdivided, you know, they made them 25 by 75 feet or whatever. But now, you know, zoning has changed over the years.
100%, you're right.
So irregardless of how many lots there are, there's only 2 dwellings.
Right.
It's 1 per application, 2 total for this.
That's all I wanted.
Yes.
That to me is clear.
Yeah.
The lot designation wasn't.
Yeah. I understand the confusion.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what is the third one here with 0 on it?
So Ernie explained it to me. He just has, he wanted a separate application. There's no flow associated with it, which is why I didn't write a report for it, but it's just for the, sewer extension, which,
Oh, okay.
you know, just a separate application. It's shown on the back of application 21-104. So, really tying into the existing sewer on River Road, coming up with an 8-inch gravity line to a new manhole. It's in the city's right-of-way. That'll be a public sewer. That's one application, so
Gotcha. Okay.
there's no separate.
That's okay. Now, you understand what we're trying to do now. We're trying to get more control over what's going on. Look, there's a lot of onesies and twosies here. You know, we're trying to control them because we actually have started over the past year and a half. You know, Lori's done a nice job on it with Ernie of tracking all these applications. Some of these applications, like, just, we don't know where they went. And we just want to make sure we're tracking our applications, what's approved, what's not approved, where do we collect our money, do we not collect our money? It's all we're trying to do, get a little bit more, you know, a little bit more, I'll use the word professional for now, but have a better way of tracking all these. And it might seem stupid to you guys, because I know you guys have come in here a lot and just say, I got one, and I'm, you know, but we're trying to get a little bit more of a tie on, or, you know, a hand around it.
I get it.
Okay, so I don't have, does everybody understand?
I'm good.
You all right?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Now, I have a question on, Joe, on your recommendations. I assume that, Jim Switzer has seen these? Has he seen your recommendations?
I don't know if, Lori, did you forward them to Jim? I can read the conditions.
I don't know if they have.
You know, I don't think Jim will have a problem with it.
Okay.
You know, should I just read them?
Yeah.
So the first one is the standard that this commission, you know, has anytime you've requested a a TY or a clean out, and number one is provide a service clean out TY extending to grade with cast iron handhold covers reading sewer located not more than 5 feet of the exterior building wall. Cover must be suitable for embedment in the pedestrian sidewalk. Straightforward, it's just, it refers to the clean out itself, the cover. You know, Jim addressed all of the comments that, we had, so his latest addressed both Ernie's and my comments on connections, and the overall design and layout of the sewers. And I reviewed all this with Ernie before he went away.
Okay, so now, if we were to approve this, we gotta figure out what are we calling it? Fairview Avenue, I guess we're gonna have to call it legally what's on here. Lots 49, 50, and 51 Fairview Avenue.
And you can refer to it, Chairman, as, you know, as being known as one single building lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have got two applications here, and I'm not saying it confuses it, but that's the way Ernie and I spoke about it, and he was like, that's what he wanted to do, is okay, because he's trying to get the system in order. So, does anybody want to make a recommendation on lots 49, 50, 51 Fairview Avenue?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that, the application be approved based upon, Pereira's suggestion.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor for Arcadia Design Build, lot 49, 50, 51 Fairview Avenue. Motion was by Bill.
Are we gonna, just a point, are we gonna do both or one at a time here?
Well, why don't we do maybe one at a time?
Okay.
Say one,
Good.
the way it's a.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's call it, matter of fact, let's call it 6A1, what we have on top of the application. All right, so let's do 6A1. So the motion on the floor by Bill, seconded by Don. And any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Opposed, so ordered. Okay, let's make it 6A2. So this one is lot 52, 53? Okay, so that's the difference. So who wants to make a motion on lot 52 and 53?
So moved. For approval of lots 52 and 53 on Fairview Avenue.
Okay. Motion by Joe,
Second.
seconded by Bill. Seconded by Bill and Joe for lot 52 and 53 Fairview Avenue. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Don't make it so confusing next time, Joe. 6B, 131 Canal Street. Is there anyone here for 131 Canal Street? Is there anyone here representing 31 Canal Street?
Do we have paperwork on that?
No. Okay, so since nobody's here to represent 31 Canal Street, this motion is rendered unacceptable because there's nobody here representing 31 Canal Street. Now, so everybody understands too, and this is what we've done it works. In our application to connect, and let's make a motion first. We don't need to make a motion. They're not here to represent their project. So here's what we did over the years. In here, and it's actually worked pretty good because over the years we've had several people not show up. We tell you in this application to connect, you have to have a representative for your project here. And it has to be into us a week in advance. So we did not get it a week in advance, and you're not representing 131 Canal Street, right, Joe? So it actually has worked several times.
Yeah.
They've already,
The Riverside, they changed the
Riverside
address.
Drive.
Riverside Drive. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No, Ray, I didn't think you were. This is 131 Canal Street. So in the past, we haven't not made motion or moved on them. And this is the case here. Is it, you wanna add something?
No, I was just trying to clarify for Pete. It's where they're adjusting to an existing one. They're going from commercial space to apartment,
Oh,
but it is not ready.
okay.
And it was gonna be
That was
run
a different
by.
one than this one?
Yeah, it's a moot point. You can table it.
You guys meet Lori, by the way? Everybody met Lori? You don't know, yeah, I didn't think you. All right, let's move on. We're tabling 131 Canal Street, 6B. Representative did not show up for the project, Terry. Thank you. Bills rendered Fuss and O'Neill for $4,287.75. So let's just keep the thing going where, when we do financials from now on, because of our the attorney came in, let's make sure we talk dollars on our emotions.
Or you table, 131 Canal Street, that, until somebody comes in to represent
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It's off even next month, or
No, if they come in with the proper paperwork,
next month?
next month, we have to hear them. Do you wanna make somebody wanna make the motion on Fuss and
What are
O'Neill?
we, sure. Make a motion,
Paul, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go.
Make a motion for Fusco and Neal invoice for $4,287.75 to be paid.
Yeah. Motion by Joe, anyone want a second? Second, what's the second? Can I hear the second, please?
Second, motion, to pay, Fuss and O'Neill, $4,287.75.
Motion by Joe, seconded by Steve. Mr. Chukta, any further discussion?
Yeah, is this all for Petromont Lane? Both of them?
The attachment is 6C1 in your handouts.
I'm sorry?
6C1.
Oh, what?
6C1, I see it, but is this Petromont too?
No, this is Meadow something. That's it.
Meadow Ridge Estates. Where's that?
That's,
I don't remember where that
Penn
was.
Market's whole area.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes.
I didn't see that till just now.
Oh,
And then there's 6C2, also
Okay.
separate item.
Got it.
okay, motion for $4,287.75. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Let's see the next one. Motion for C2. Need a motion for Fuss and O'Neill to pay Fuss and O'Neill $14,009.20.
I make a motion to pay Fuss and O'Neill the invoice for $14,009.20.
Motion by John, you want to second it? Mr. Chukta, can you second it for me, please?
Motion to, pay Fuss and O'Neill invoice for $14,009.20.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Vote to order. Financial statement. Well, as said, who wants to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Bye-bye. See you, Joe.
Yours down?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, my God, bless you. Yeah, I got him to run a nice, yeah. He wouldn't run again. He had this